Hi, I'm Jason.
And I'm Jason.
And this is WhatchaSayJ. So today, we're going to talk about the internet. Ooh. And more specifically, what is your favorite website? Do you have a website that as soon as you pop open your browser of choice, you're going to be hopping on that website to see if there's anything new, cool, whatever.
Okay.
So, I have a couple. I have a go-to site and then a runner-up, which we'll go over. But
okay.
So do you want me to lead off, or what do you want to do?
I've got an idea.
All right.
I didn't talk to you about this. Let's take it back just a little bit.
All right.
Rewind.
I don't know how to do that.
Let's go back to our early internet days.
Okay.
Some of your first websites you had interaction with, and then we'll get into our current day. Is that
all
work
right
for you?
All right. Sure.
Okay.
Let's see. Well, there of course was the Hamster Dance. Do you remember that?
No.
Really? That was one of the classic animated GIF music related web pages. So it was it was classic. I will put a little clip of it here on this episode. But basically, what it entailed was just rows and rows of dancing hamsters, and there's a song in the background. It's like.
Oh, I recognize the song.
That's it, yeah. So you've heard the song, but you didn't know that came from the Hamster Dance?
I didn't know what that was from.
Yeah, so now...
I wasn't really web savvy back in the day.
Apparently you are now. As he gets an alert.
I got an alert. Flappy Bird's back.
Yes.
Anyways. Okay. So I guess I'll talk about some of my early interneting.
Okay.
You know what I used it for mostly when I was in I would say mid-teens to late teens is when I got into the internet.
Weather reports?
No.
Oh.
Flight simulator. I used to be a big flight simulator guy. That was one of my favorite pastimes. So what I would do is I would go on the flight simulator file libraries, and I would pimp out my flight simulator with different aircraft and sceneries and sound packages. And the funny thing is we didn't have internet at home when I first started doing this. Right?
Really?
First world problems. Anyway, so we didn't have internet at home. What we had, though, is I actually volunteered at our church quite a bit. I actually worked there for a while at the time. Mm-hmm. And so while I was waiting for my parents to come pick me up, this was pre-driver's license, I would use the internet and I would download onto floppy disks. Some of these files were pretty good size, too. So I'd have a file broken up across, I think the worst one I had was 12 floppy disks. It was pathetic. So I'd be backing them up to floppy disks. That took the longest time, was downloading them onto a floppy disk. And then you'd get them home and put them on your computer. If you were lucky, all the disks worked.
Yeah, you're right, exactly.
So that was my early internet. That was pretty much my use for the internet.
I can still remember that sound. And then you knew when it changed. It's oh no.
You could hear it. It's like a stuck record.
We're going down.
Not that anybody knows what a record is.
You're going back even further now.
Actually, records are making a comeback. Have you seen that? I was walking through the mall past one of the hipster stores, and no offense against hipsters, I just don't look good in skinny jeans. This is why I sit down for most of these episodes. And they were bringing out, they had record players for sale, like the old box style record player, suitcase style.
Okay.
And they were selling records that would come out once a week or once a month or something like that. So they're making a trendy comeback. They've never completely gone away. I guess a real audiophile will tell you a vinyl is the best way to go. But I'm not an audiophile. I like my MP3s and not having to push rewind.
You don't have to rewind records.
I'm thinking tapes, aren't I? Anyways, let's get back on track.
All right.
Okay, current day.
All right, so
what do you use the internets for?
All right, I as a web developer, I'm not only constantly using the internet, but I'm building the internet.
You are an internet creator.
Yes, my office is an imaginatorium.
Do you know Al Gore? Because he invented the internet.
That's a widely known tale, but it's totally not true. Sorry, Al.
But
throw him under the bus.
Politicians tell the truth.
We should do an episode on the truth and lies from politicians, but that's for another time.
Totally.
Let's just get right to the meat of the issue here.
All right, the meat of the issue, the chicken.
What I think.
The beef.
The beef, or the crocodile.
We'll go with beef.
what I was thinking of the criteria of this this award, so to speak, for my favorite website was based on when I open up a browser, it's almost like my fingers have a mind of their own, and they immediately just pull up a site that I'm always going to look at just to see if there's anything new. So my first site that I always pull up is dig.com. Have you ever heard of dig.com?
I've heard of it. I haven't really gotten into it though.
All right. So what it is basically a news feed of videos and news stories that other users have found to be entertaining and important. So if you see something on the internet that you think is important and you're a member of Dig, you can so-called dig it. And the more digs
see what they did there.
something gets, yes.
Yeah.
It rises to the top of the pile, and then it'll sit up there as long as people still continue to find it interesting, so usually a couple days. But just like today, I mean, where else are you going to find a website that will show you a video on how you can slice a banana with a bicycle wheel?
You can do that?
You can, and you can watch on Dig how to do it.
Do I have a bicycle still? I do, yeah.
There was in honor of the fight that recently occurred between Manny Pacquiao and that other dude.
You know, I got a notification on my phone from Fox News that Manny and that other dude, so-and-so won against the other person. I'm like, what'd they win? What's the big deal?
Mayweather. It was Floyd Mayweather, yes. So,
okay.
But there was
completely over my head.
There was a story about a life-size cake made in the image of Manny Pacquiao. I mean...
Is he a big guy?
He's only like 5'3", but it's still...
Oh, okay. I was thinking he was like
the size
of a cake, so it wouldn't really matter.
No, the cake is the size of him. He's not the size of a cake.
Oh, I get it.
All right. That would be funny though if he really was the size of a cake.
Can you imagine that fight between two
kicks him in the ankle
between two 13.5-inch tall guys?
Like fighting on a tabletop.
I would pay real money to see that.
All right. We don't want to offend any people that are height challenged, but it would be
seriously. Who's 13 inches tall and can box?
Those pretty strict criteria, yes.
If you are 13 inches tall and you are a boxer, I apologize. But if you are 13 inches tall and you're a boxer, please let me know. Yes. I would like to see you perform your skill.
It'll be the next big pay-per-view event.
We will fly you here.
Yeah.
And put you on this table and you can fight.
Well, they could both probably share one seat.
Well, I'm just saying, this is probably the right size for a 13-inch tall guy. We are way off topic. Bringing it back. Okay. Are you done?
All right. So that's why I really like dig.com. I mean, I'm not going to endorse every single story that they reference on there. So don't go on there and say, oh, what is this? Jason said this was a great website. What? No, I can't. It's the internet, people. You never know what's going to happen.
We don't have control.
Yeah, so I had a runner-up. I mean, it's but I think I'll just pass on that for now. It would only really apply to coders like me, so we're a small minority. So let's move on. Jason, what have you got?
You know, I got to tell you, I'm not a huge internet browser, but what I have, I've got my apps on my phone. I used to have a few tabs at the top of my Firefox every time I opened up. I always open to Google. That's just my homepage. That's where I go. But
just loaded with information.
I like to know the weather, so I'm kind of a weather geek. So I'm constantly looking at Weather Underground. I'm always referencing that page. It's probably one of the things I do when I wake up in the morning. I roll over, look for my phone, and pull up Weather Underground. I see what's going on. And then my other go-to, used to be a website, but is now an app on my phone, is Craigslist. I'm a prolific Craigslist browser.
So you lurk on Craigslist.
I lurk. I also post a fair amount of stuff, too. I'm always trying to sell something. So if any of you are looking for a chipper, shredder, lawn vacuum that you tow behind your tractor, I have one of those for sale. Look up Craigslist Craftsman chipper shredder in the Maine Craigslist.
In Maine, yes.
Yeah. So
cool.
So yeah, Craigslist. I'm trying to think other actual websites. There's really not a lot for me. You know, there's a few forums that I like. I like some forums. I drive a Ford Ranger, so I'm a member at the Ford Ranger forum and the Ranger station. So I browse those pretty frequently.
Like Forest Rangers or Ford
Rangers, the
okay.
truck.
The Ranger station just sounds like
silly boy.
Something from Yogi Bear.
Yeah. Anyways, all right. Hey, I think that wraps up for me. Did you want to share your secondary, or are you pretty well?
I think we're ready to move to the mysterious bowl of endings.
Who let this fly on set? It's ridiculous. All right, the bowl of endings.
All right, so if you if you've seen the previous episode, this we're going to rock, paper, scissors, and whoever loses gets to pick a topic.
All right. Ready?
Yes.
1, 2, 3, shoot. Oh. Wait, no.
Oh. All right, so
we actually just discussed this before we shot this episode. If we tie, we have to debate the episode.
Debate the topic, yes.
Excuse me, debate the topic. I'm a terrible debater. I've actually never even attempted debating. So
right,
I'm going to bring my iPad back.
Do you want me to pull
just so I can put a timer on it? We're going to set it for, what do you want to set it for?
Let's do a minute.
A minute? I hope we can
30 seconds each.
All right.
All right, so you want to pull it out, or I can pull it out?
You go ahead and pull it.
All right. Can't do just the top one. Top one's for chumps. All right, so I'm going to choose the con on this side.
You're the con?
Yep.
I'm the pro?
Yep, so you want to... I can lead off if you'd like.
Okay. The subject is...
Convertibles.
Convertibles.
My fellow Americans, I implore you today. Have you ever had bugs stuck in your teeth? Twigs in your hair? Gnarled knots in your hair? You're not supposed to help me out here. Sunburns on your scalp? I mean, unless you've got thick hair like this guy, it can happen. And this is all at the hands of your typical convertible. I mean, you're gonna drive with it top down. That's just anarchy. So, in my words, I say if you own a convertible, put the top up like a respectable human being and drive down the road in peace and quiet. What do you say?
I say you are wrong. Dead wrong. The freedom of the open road is unparalleled when you're driving with your face full of sky. Forget the bugs. You're driving down the road, you can see everything, people see you, you're driving in your convertible. Most convertibles are pretty nice, except those Geo Metros, those things are hideous. Driving in your convertible, got your arm around your generally wife, and people just see you, it's like, I'm a man. You flex your bicep as you're driving so they can just see how awesome you are. What's wrong with that? What's more American than cruising in a convertible down old Route 66, which is nowhere near here? We got 16, which is kind of like
Route 16.
Yeah, we'll cruise Route 16. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, drive a convertible. Be American.
Thanks for watching.
Like and subscribe and comment. Bye.